We are here to announce additional charges beyond the ones that we presented at our original press conference. In announcing these charges, I want to be crystal clear, as I am at every one of these conferences. Charges are not evidence. Every defendant we're going to be discussing is presumed innocent until and unless proven by legally admissible evidence beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law. So if you hear us describing anything about a particular case, it is not evidence. These statements themselves will not be used in a court of law. Evidence will be presented to a judge or a jury in an appropriate time to convict someone beyond a reasonable doubt. So first, I'd like to start out with a thank you. I want to start out with a thank you because I think it's incredibly important to thank the hundreds of law enforcement officers that have come to Los Angeles at this important time, and to Los Angeles County. And it's not just the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, which has done incredible work, or the Los Angeles Police Department, or the California Highway Patrol. But we've also been joined by the ATF, and we have the special assistant in charge, the special agent in charge, Kenny Cooper from the ATF, who has joined us today. We've also been supported by the FBI. We've also been supported by 45 local law enforcement agencies throughout this county. It has been a tremendous amount of work to keep order, to allow protests to occur. Those protests have grown from hundreds of people to thousands of people to tens of thousands of people to hundreds of thousands of people. And I'm here to tell you that 99.99% of the people who protested did so lawfully, did so expressing their First Amendment rights, as is tradition in this country, voicing their thoughts, their opposition, their whatever to the government, as they are allowed to in this country. This right, we come to appreciate this right when we see it being denied in other countries. And we realize what an incredibly valuable constitutional right we have to protest against anything we find disagreeable in our system, but to do it absolutely lawfully. But what you'll hear, and I gave you this initial idea when we had our first press conference on it, Mr. Asali gave additional thoughts with respect to the federal charges that have been brought. The LA City Attorney's Office has given her additional thoughts with city attorney charges that have been brought against a relatively small segment. And when I say relatively small segment of people who've committed criminal violations, these are people for whom the protest was a cover. They weren't interested in protesting. They weren't interested in joining the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that wanted to legitimately voice their concerns about what's going on in society. This smaller group, which numbers probably in the hundreds, not even in the thousands, this group wanted to commit crimes. They looked at the protests as a cover, an opportunity to go ahead and ply their illegal trade and commit a whole variety of crimes that in many ways has done a huge disservice to the legitimate protesters out there. And what you're going to hear is that sometimes those legitimate protesters have reared up their heads and helped us identify these criminals, as well they should, because the media would only like to focus, quite candidly, on the fireworks being exploded, on the motorcycles running into law enforcement, on the incredible graffiti that is in many ways destroyed or certainly desecrated our historic buildings, on other situations, and you'll hear some of these additional charges being described today, of these few numbers of people who want to make it seem like Los Angeles is under siege. It is not. As I said before, 99.9% or 99% of people who protested did so legitimately, did so peacefully. And by the way, as a percentage of people in Los Angeles County, we have close to 11 million people in the county. 10% would be 1.1 million people. 1% is 110,000 people. We had 1/2 of 1% of the people in this county at most were protesting at all. So let's put that number back in context. 99.95% of people in this county didn't protest at all. Yet if you look at the media, the social media, the podcast, you would assume by their focus and their repeating over and over and over again of what's going on that Los Angeles was a war zone, no different than some real war zones across this world. Nothing could be further from the truth. But we're going to announce additional charges today, both myself, Mr. Saley, the CHP and the LAPD, to give you an idea of the types of crimes that have been committed and will absolutely be prosecuted.